Back at the bench once again with another MPP and a Sithlord chassis. This one wasn't a planned commission, but when I saw it come up in the threads that somebody was looking to get one built, I jumped in and said I'd throw my hat in the ring, and they did come to me to get it built out. The chassis, when you see it, was all painted, weathered by the actual owner itself, so all of that work I cannot take any credit for. I've finalized the build, put all of the electronics inside, all of the config on the Profi too. So I guess we'll dive into some of the more details. Obviously, Roman Props MPP, done out as always, very, very nicely. This one does not use the Dig Up a Swamp 5280 blade plug. The end owner wanted to have a little bit of shine through. They do have that blade plug with them, so it's still interchangeable. 7/8 inch as always with that blade holder. I cleaned all the fingerprints off before the video. However, I'm sure by the time I'm done looking at it, it will be full of fingerprints again. Pommel has been trimmed down to allow as much sound venting as possible while still maintaining the nice little black ring. You have pommel, that's the end of the Goth chassis. This one, I did not use this set screw as chassis retention. I've got it trimmed back, so actually it's not going to be. I will include the pommel spacer ring that fits just snug over the end of the edge of the actual speaker, so that will allow it to hold it in when you put the pommel on. There we go. Small little tap, and we'll lay the hilt aside. The owner provided the two crystals for this and had them previously mounted. I took them out, trimmed them up a little bit, remounted them to give them some nice positioning and a look. I think they turned out really, really nice. We've added inside the speaker, it's a little hard to see, there's some diffusion film around the pixels in there. We've added mesh here. This is no longer an OLED screen, which you'll see when we light it up. I've added a little bit of mesh in here also, just to give it a little different look when it lights up. As always, the Goth chassis is, if I can get it to spin, an 18650. And then that is a stock V3. I don't have the set screw into it at the moment. Apparently when I went to glue this up yesterday, there were none left in my supply, so I've got to pick up some and fit one in, so therefore we won't do a blade demo on this video. So other than that, we did stainless steel for all of the rods throughout the chamber, and then heat stained them so that they kind of fit in a little more with the weathering and paint that was done on the chassis itself. Kill switches down here.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
The owner did provide the speaker. I'm pretty sure it is a Smuggler's Outpost 28mm. It's not the bass speaker. I find also, though, that the non-bass one has the silver cone, so it provides better reflection in the speaker pod. So anybody who's building one, I do recommend use the silver cone Smuggler's Outpost. It is really, really good, and as you can see, I mean, it lights up that speaker pod really, really well. We went through here with 2020 pixel strip. There's 15. Another pixel under here, another here. We have two 50/50s in here on each side. And then this one fits snug with the paint. We have 10 2020s up here and another 5 2020s up under the LEDs. And then this is the shadow foil pixel. I just refer to it as a pixel matrix. There's 42 pixels on here, I believe, if I remember correctly. It gets pretty bright. It can draw some pretty good power. I'm running it off of the 3.3 volt just to kind of draw down the amount of power it's using. But as you can see, the crystals look really, really good when lit up. And then there's a bunch of different animations done on this. It's going to be hard to see it because it does kind of wash the camera out, but I've divided it up into 3 lines. So there's one line, a middle line, and then the other edge. And most all of the fonts do something slightly different with each line. There is one in here.
Where Obi-Wan? It's just, what is it? I am a Jedi.
This one, it's meant to mimic a little more of the R2-D2 panel. And then as you can see, the 2020s light up this top hood really, really well, and also provide some very cool, smooth animations down here in the ring. This is the first font on the saber itself. We've got a couple of Vaders. We go through the main episodes, not including Rogue One. And again, so this one, I'm pretty sure the middle line is a battery level meter, which the battery is freshly charged before doing the video. So whenever we do the battery meter today, that there is going to be obviously full, but as it wears down, it goes down. And some of them change color slightly, other ones do not. On this one, the top line is actually a VU meter. So as you create sounds coming out of the prophy, depending on how loud they are, the VU meter will kind of go up. The lower Cylon obviously just speeds up or slows down depending on activated or not. So for the Vaders, it's kind of about normal. This one looks a little pink on camera. It is kind of a red-orange when you actually look at it in person. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that to focus well because of how bright it actually gets.
Where is he?
So this one, I've kind of set it up for this matrix to look a little bit like the Death Star pulse. And then down below, speaker ring has a nice flicker to it. The gills kind of breathe. So there's your Death Star pulse. Then it slows down. These ones go into a cool off.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So the owner wanted a couple of additional fonts. This is obviously one of the Obi-Wans that's here. The middle bar on this one, I think, is a slow noise bar graph. So it kind of does a few different things, and I've changed the variables on it to kind of let it do different things once we turn on. Now in this one, obviously, because Obi-Wan had blue, we've done blue into the main bottom crystal, blue into the top crystal, which kind of gives it a neat effect because the crystal had a little bit of clear area. So you'll see a little bit of blue under there, but yet the red, it actually made it look, was it pretty good?
It's just bad these days.
And this is the Obi-Wan show bend. And those 2020s up here also light up, obviously, you can see right all the way through into the battery area. Here, the pure blue into the red crystal definitely kind of darkens it up. In person, it almost makes some of the red look black.
What is it? Father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
You can see that VU meter again, battery meter, and I can't remember what this one does this time. Slightly different animation up here and also in the emitter cup. This is obviously the A New Hope Graflex.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
A Luke ESB. The green into the red actually worked out pretty well. The green makes that red crystal look really nice, and of course coming through the clear crystal, it's got some good facets internally that makes that tip look really nice. We've got on the matrix this time a Luke arrow throwback, so it'll blink green, a bunch of reds, back to greens while off. The hood itself is just kind of slowly rolling forward. And then when on, this stays to the red arrow. And we've got our green pretty much everywhere else, except of course, speaker and down here. And that one slows back down. And we're back to the front end. Putting this back in the hilt itself, I'm going to turn it off. You can basically look here, follow the line down the battery chamber, and it ends up in this one groove and notch right there. So you line that up. Just usually use my thumb. And you can see that because of the way the hilt is laid out, the control box lines up between these two grips. So it makes it more easy to actually line up that. And you may not always hit it like I didn't, but I was close. Give it a little wiggle left or right, and it goes all the way in.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take it away.
And that is the latest MPP Sithlord chassis from 5280. Thanks for watching.